Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Online in association Round for Round Boxing, the new boxing game coming out on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 4. Check them out, www.roundforroundboxing.com. Okay, I've spoken before about this particular fight, Dillian Whyte against Oscar Rivas, and I've said on numerous occasions I am not happy with this fight, and now I'm going to expand on it in this preview show. Now, you all know that I am a supporter of Dillian Whyte, and I think he has, since the Joshua fight, he has evolved as a fighter, and also by the way he presents himself as a sportsman. And there's a lot of things to like about Dillian Whyte. His brand has grown, number one by the WBC, and somewhere else was ranked number one as well. We know about the challenges he's had with the WBC. And despite being ranked, other people have leapfrogged him in form, i.e. Dominic Brazil, when I don't know how many mandatories or how many WBC final eliminators that Dillian Whyte has taken part in. Almost like Kell Brook with that final eliminator. Remember all those final eliminators until he got the fight against Sean Porter. So I said, there's always one day, and this is going on, there's always one day that in this situation like this where you're constantly waiting for a world title shot, there's one guy that comes on that can upset the apple cart. This is that guy. There's a reason why Tyson Fury swerved Oscar Rivas when his name was brought up. For me, Dillian Whyte could have been, it would have been acceptable for Dillian Whyte to go on and fought Tom Schwartz. See, the standard of opponent that Whyte has been fighting over and over and over again has shown that he can mix it at world level, and he has fought. You know, the Ortiz fight, well, we could talk about that, but Ortiz is now fighting Wilder, so that's out of the question. Michael Hunter is stylistically out of the question. Same with Alexander Usyk. Brian Jennings would have been a good fight for Dillian Whyte. It would probably been a better fight for Dillian Whyte at this stage of his career than it would have been for Joe Joyce to fight Bryant Jennings, only because of stature in terms of where both guys are in their careers. And I think that Dillian Whyte has got a much bigger platform than Joe Joyce at this point of his career at the moment in terms of rank number one. That would have been a good fight for Bryant Jennings. There's a bit of needle between those two guys. That would have been a better fight to sell. Jennings has been knocked out himself, and, you know, it makes for a good fight. This fight marks danger all over it, and I'll break it down for you. When I'm looking, I went and looked at Oscar Rivas' knockouts. When I look at Oscar Rivas, I look at his form. I look at what he does. Fighters have patterns. I look to see what a fighter does off the front foot, off the back foot, what they do up close, whether it's how they circle the ring, how they poise, how they handle pressure. I look at all these things as a fighter. And then I went, yes, Michael, hope you're well. I went and watched one fight of Dillian Whyte, and I went back to the Parker fight. That's all I need to see was the Parker fight. Say, uh-oh, this guy's in trouble. This guy's in big trouble. The matchmaker, or the guy who's been doing matchmaking for Matchroom, whoever's been doing matchmaking for Matchroom, has put their fighters in a whole heap of trouble that they didn't necessarily need to be in. You know, either the fights came too soon, or the fight was overhyped, it wasn't good enough. You know, or the fighter is good enough, but just the wrong time to get the fights in. This fight here, Dillian Whyte's got a big problem. And I'll tell you why he's got a big problem against Oscar Rivas. First and foremost, I want you to go back when you get a chance. Look at the punch that Oscar Rivas, that Parker knocked Dillian Whyte with down. Straight right hand through the middle of Dillian Whyte's guard. Now go back and look at Oscar Rivas. Oscar Rivas can box from distance. He can throw punches from distance and knock you out, and he can knock you out from up close. Rivas has fast hands. He's compact. He can throw shots short on the inside, and he's good at long range, long distance. And he carries proper power, no joke power. He can hit you with a shot and leave you unconscious with that one punch, or if not, knock you out unconscious, render you unconscious, or in a position where you're so hurt that he just follows up on you. Rivas is a very, very, very dangerous fight. Very dangerous fight. You see, the thing is, Rivas can get up close. I don't think that Whyte's going to physically bully Rivas. I think Rivas can get on the inside. I think he can work on the inside, and he can punch. The thing is, what makes this fight even more dangerous is that Dillian Whyte has seen the canvas more than one occasion. He saw he saw the canvas with Joshua. Okay, he wasn't fit then, but he also saw the canvas against Joseph Parker. And the way I judge Andy Ruiz was actually by Joseph Parker and his performance with Anthony Joshua. And again, I'm judging Oscar Rivas by how Dillian Whyte did against Joseph Parker. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, okay, I look at Joseph Parker as athletic. I look at Joseph Parker as somebody who's not using the best of his abilities, but I also see Joseph Parker as somebody who carries good power. He's got a good chin, and from the skill set he has and the way he's trained, he seems to do okay with it. If Joseph Parker could work, no disrespect to his trainer, work with a more experienced trainer, I think, and knows a bit more about boxing science, I think Joseph Parker could well go on to be heavyweight champion of the world. I think Joseph Parker's skill set is, I think he's just a talented fighter that's not being used to his full potential. There are question marks about Joseph Parker when you put it on him, but Dillian Whyte did put it on him, and at the end of the fight, Parker was able to get back in the fight and almost knock Dillian Whyte out at the end of the fight. So I think that that's something that we need to also pay attention to. Dillian Whyte, for all I've seen him and all I like of him, there's the one punch he throws, which I find exposes himself all the time, which is like a right hand he throws, and it leaves him vulnerable. The right hand leaves him vulnerable. And because Rivas has got short arms, he's able to capitalize on those mistakes that Dillian Whyte does. Dillian Whyte's best chance of this fight is to keep this fight as long as possible at long range. Do not engage with Rivas whatsoever. Do not engage with Oscar Rivas. This fight could be ended in the first, and it could be ended in the 12th. That's the kind of fight this fight is. Rivas can throw punches from long range and catch you. He's got the overhand right, which he's very good with. And he can also throw up close as well. He's not one of these guys that smother his work when he's on the inside. And if you go back and watch the Jennings fight, he can explode out absolutely nothing. He can explode. He can, 1 minute, he can be laboring in a fight. Next minute, as you saw against Jennings, boom, just jump on Jennings. And Jennings is the fitness freak, yeah? Jennings is the guy that's fit and strong and all this stuff. Jennings, again, Rivas showed that he can be in a fight and can take you out with one shot. That doesn't bode well for Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte does some good things very well. The left hook is Dillian Whyte's best punch, and I think he has got the best left hook in the heavyweight division today. And then Wilder's got the best right. If I was designing a heavyweight boxer, right, I would give him Wilder's right hand and Dillian Whyte's left hook. You know what I mean? That left hook has got some power in it. Like, he's world-class left hook. The thing is about this fight, I don't think he finds Rivas with that left hook, because Rivas is not one of them guys that leaves his chin up in the air like that. I think Rivas will be tucked down, spot, and he'll come in shorter, and he'll come in under that hook. I think when you're like Parker with your chin in the air and the height of Parker is at 6'4", the left hook is easy to land. But when Parker, Dillian, because Rivas is that short but shorter, he'll even be shorter still coming on in the inside, because he'll dip. So he'll miss that left hook. Look for Rivas to throw the right hand over the top, looping over the top. Straight right hand. I've seen Rivas wobble guys with a straight right hand. I've seen him wobble it with the overhand right, and from distance. This is a guy who can win the fight from the front foot and off the back foot. He's short shots on the inside. Kaboom. You don't want to know why Fury avoided this fight? because this guy's a problem. He was right. He was one of the guys that everyone was looking at Rivas in the heavyweight division. So I think Rivas is a better fighter than Derek Chisora by far. Derek Chisora never in the month of Sundays was ever going to beat Pulev. This guy Rivas has got a victory over Pulev, right? So yeah, you got to do your research with these guys. I don't know who the matchmaker is for this fight, right? But it's an awful big risk for nothing. You're fighting Oscar Rivas. His best win, people know today, is the knockout win he had against Jennings. So if you win against Rivas, what does that do for your career? Yeah, you beat another top-rated guy who was dangerous. But then people could turn around and say, Rivas has no more power than Chisora. Really? Chisora's power is very much... No, I disagree with you there. I absolutely disagree with you. I disagree with you wholeheartedly. This guy is a world-class puncher. When have you seen Derek Chisora knock anybody out with a straight right hand? Derek Chisora, through his career, has not improved. He's been doing the same stuff he did in that first Tyson Fury fight to what he did against Dillian Whyte and got knocked out. The same stuff that caused him to get knocked out by David Hayes, the same stuff he got knocked out with by Dillian Whyte. And I called it during the fight, before the fight, during the commentary. And knew when he was about to get knocked out. He does the same things. Derek Chisora's most effective. He is most effective against guys that are much taller than him, Derek, because of that bobbing and weaving style. That's where Derek is most effective. You've got to remember the Takam fight, he knocked Takam out of one shot. But before that, Takam was handing him his ass and beating him all around the ring. He was being outworked by Takam. And let me tell you something now. Rivas is better than Takam. Rivas is much better than Takam. Rivas has got a two-fisted attack. He's hitting with the left hand and the right hand. And he can knock you out with either hand. Very, very, very dangerous fight. Let's hear what people are saying here. Expect to see something similar to the first Chisora fight. No, Rivas has more power than Chisora. He does. Rivas beat Ruiz to stop him going to the Olympics. But hold on. Rivas is not the only one. Hunter knocked out Ruiz as an amateur, Michael Hunter. So, you know, Rivas is dangerous. Dangerous. Yeah. Tyson Fury knows his boxing. Don't let Tyson Fury fool you with the stuff he says and does. Don't let him fool you. Tyson Fury's got his head screwed on. And that Rivas fight is too dangerous. The overhand right, the work on the inside. You think Tyson will just be able to use the jab and play around with Rivas? Rivas will step to him, close the range down, work on the inside. Too much of a dangerous fight. Nobody's seen Rivas being really badly hurt in the fight. Rivas has got some real dynamite. No. Thank you very much. No. I don't think, I'll say it again, I do not think that even if Dillian Whyte beats Rivas, he will get a shot at the WBC title. I just don't. I just don't. I think the only time Dillian Whyte will get a shot at the WBC title is if he leaves Matchroom and he goes to like Top Rank, when I thought he was going to join Top Rank when I spoke to Bob Arum. Look, Bob Arum has done exactly what he said he would do. When I spoke to Bob Arum, he said to me, get Dillian Whyte to come to America and I'll get him some fights in America. What has he done with Tyson Fury? First fight with Tyson Fury in America. Look how they've promoted Tyson Fury. Look what they've done for Tyson Fury. That should have been Dillian Whyte. The Gypsy King is no mug. He's no fool. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. I don't know what it is about the WBC, but he should have gone down the WBA route. I've said it before. How many times have I told you guys White should be going down the WBA route? But anyway, I think Rivas is too dangerous. Awful matchmaking and no reward. No reward whatsoever. So fight fans, you know, you could go for Dillian Whyte win for this one. Dillian Whyte win, Rivas by KO. I don't see Rivas win this fight in points. I see Rivas, if he's going to do it, he'll do it by knockout. And he might even do it in between Whyte throwing shots. That's the sort of fight I see this is. If Whyte decides to take this into a dogfight, bad idea. Use the jab, throw the uppercuts, hold on Rivas, push him back. But be careful. You see where he was pushing back Parker? He was pushing Parker back, and Parker had no back foot game. Rivas is one of them guys who can explode off the ropes. So he has to be very, very careful. Now, I don't think this fight goes to points. I don't think this fight goes to points. Rivas will come to win. And there's plenty of Dillian Whyte to hit. And as defensively sound as Dillian Whyte can be, he's fighting a guy with fast hands and small. Small guys with fast hands. I mean, I remember Dillian Whyte when he first came back, he was struggling against a guy who was much smaller himself. We'll have to see how his career has improved. He's got Mark Tibbs, who I think is a great trainer for Dillian Whyte. But this is a test, a real test. This is a real test. I was confident he'd beat Parker. I was pretty confident he'd beat Brown. This fight here, I ain't so sure. In fact, I didn't like the fight. Listen, I didn't even like the fight for Bryant Jennings. And that was when Bryant Jennings was on a winning run. I didn't like the fight for Jennings. And Jennings was winning that fight. And I did not like the fight for Jennings. I'm like, no, this ain't a good fight for Jennings. This ain't a good fight for Jennings. This ain't a good fight for Jennings. And Jennings is winning the fight. Boxing well. Yeah, you're heading fighting and kaboom. That's what Rivas does. I was like, Rivas was saying, all right, I'll let you beat you for me 9 rounds. And he said, you know what? Now I'm going to put something on these punches. And he's got a good trainer in his corner, Mark Ramsey. Good trainer. A Frenchman, Mark Ramsey, or Canadian. Very good trainer, Mark Ramsey. So they need to watch Mark Ramsey and need to watch Rivas. This is red alert at the O2 Arena. A dangerous, dangerous, dangerous fight for... is Rivas a more concussive puncher than AJ? Yes. Yes. AJ is a thudding puncher and he's slow when he throws his shots. He's slow when he throws his shots, right? That's why I knew when I saw Parker fight Ruiz and then saw AJ going to fight Ruiz, I knew Ruiz was standing a good chance because Parker has faster hands than AJ, right? And he was able to land good, clean shots on Ruiz. And I watched how Ruiz responded and came back. And I noticed when Parker was landing his shots that Ruiz was quite happy to engage. And I said, well, if he's happy to engage with Ruiz, with Parker here, he'll be more than happy to engage with Joshua and oblige. And I know if Joshua's willing to oblige, that's where Joshua is most vulnerable. And that's where Ruiz will be most successful. This is another one of those fights. Rivas is a good fighter. Very good fighter. Top 5 for me. That's my personal opinion. So you all can take it or you leave it, but that's what I see. He's a good boxer, not great. He utilizes his style, got out boxer, decent on the outside, good head movement, great mobility and footwork, but no X factor about Fury or second gear. I agree. I don't see how Rivas is open to the left hook. I don't either. He isn't, and that's my point. And that's Dillian Whyte's best punch. So you better find an uppercut. You better know how to hold, and you better know how to avoid the looping right hand and the straight right hand. Those are the shots that you've got to look out for. The overhand right, the straight right hand, and the left hook of Rivas. Two-fisted attack, fast. And when Rivas hits you a shot and he hurts you, he's coming in 4 or 5 punches. Like Ruiz, he's got that style where he hits you a shot and he'll just swarm you. He's a swarmer when he gets you hurt, like Ruiz. And I said with AJ, if you get AJ hurt like he was against Dillian Whyte and he was against Klitschko, those guys are not swarmers. This guy's a swarmer. So I said if he gets AJ hurt and swarms him, gets him out of there. And Ruiz did what he did. So I go to say this again about this man here, Rivas. If he hurts Dillian Whyte, there won't be long, big clubbing punches. There'll be fast shots inside. Yeah, head clash as well. Totally. What tactics should Chile use if he can't use the left hook? Use the jab. Walk him onto the straight right hand. Walk him onto the right hand. Don't allow Rivas to set. You can't allow someone like Rivas to set. You've got to keep spinning him. Use the jab and moving at angles. You can't stay in a straight line against Rivas. and you've got to be moving the angles, constantly moving Rivas, turning and changing the angles, using the jab, blind him at times, moving from side to side. You cannot stay in front of Rivas. You've got to move, keep giving him angles, like how Jennings was fighting, giving him angles, giving him different looks. You know, maybe up jab, down jab, just giving him different looks, constantly fighting, constantly giving Rivas different angles. You can't stay there with Rivas and do that nonsense. You do that too many times, Rivas can read you and you're gone at that level. White would have to bring that left hook from an angle since Rivas is shorter than him, but Rivas would see that punch coming. People estimate the effectiveness of the jab. If your attacks is full, the jab is often a good plan B. Yeah, a jab is effective only if the guy allows you to use it. You can take a guy's jab away by just using the head, just a head movement. I said that about AJ and Ruiz. All Ruiz had to do is do this and do this to AJ. And you saw how uncomfortable AJ was because he couldn't find the rangefinder. The rangefinder is where if I can find this jab, if I can touch his head, then I can slam the right hand through. Guys are quite confident when you go for the jab. If I can just touch his forehead, if I can just touch it, I know I've got a space to put the right hand in. But if you're constantly moving your hand all the time and you're not finding space while you're busy trying to find space to put a jab, the right hand's coming over the top, the left hook's coming in, the guy's getting closer and closing the range down on you. So these are all the things that Dillian Whyte and his team have to watch out for with Rivas. The only thing I've heard about Rivas, question mark, is his eyesight. I heard his eyesight may be a bit of a problem. Do you see Dillian as a one-trick pony? If he's rated so high by so many, surely he must have more to his game than a left hook. The left hook is what we've seen knock guys out on, drop them, or, you know, he just has to be more careful. That's all I'm saying. He'll need more than a left hook for this one. He'll need everything. Yeah, unfortunately, it's a make or break fight, and it doesn't need to be. But again, poor matchmaking. I don't think this fight should be happening any way, shape, or form. Absolutely poor matchmaking. There's no guarantee after this fight he gets a WBC title shot. No guarantee. And after listening to Mauricio Suleiman and his WBC rant about Eddie Hearn and Dillian about it's a circus act, then that doesn't help matters at all. So that's not good. Not good at all. Right, I'm out of here. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and leave your comments for the fight. Ideal sparring for him, Joey DeWaco. Joey DeWaco, the guy Joey DeWaco would be perfect for him. Short, squat, carries power. Joey DeWaco would be good. Dave Allen would be good sparring. Again, short, squat, you know, strong, tough, carries a good shot. Stocky. Amir Mansour, again, just to change the angles of things. I would use Mansour as well. The southpaw style, just to see punches from a different angle. Yeah, so Hunter, I would not use, but I wouldn't use Hunter for sparring. Takam, yes, Takam, to an extent. Takam would be good. But Takam, I think, is on the downside of his career, me personally. But yeah, right. I'm going to get out of here. I've got food to cook. Thank you so much. I'm out of here. Take care.